Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanam Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Stadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Narayanam Gurum Vande Saranyam Bhakta Bandhavam Gauramanu Purnam Radha Dasyam Pradayakam Rupanugacharya Paryam Rupamanjari Preshtakam Patita Pavana Bandhavam Yugacharya Narayana Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Twise Namaha Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Ismirahasara Murali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanide Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Kuru Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vrindai Tulasi Devyai Priyai Keshavasicha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramu Ramo Ramo Hare Hare. So first of all I begin offering my most humble obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Paramaradatama Shri Guru Padapadama Nitrila Pravishta Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Astotara Sata Shisrimadu Shla Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Shla Gurudev. And to my worshipable Shikshan Sannyasa Guru Nitrila Pravishta Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Astotara Sata Shisrimadu Shla Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj. And to all Shri Rupa Gauriya Guru Varga, to all Tridandi Sannyasis, Brahmacharis, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, and to all the assembled devotees here, my most respectful obeisances. So by the causeless mercy of Srila Gurudeva and all Mahabhagavatas Acharyas, we are able to assemble here one more time. So continue reading from Sri Ramananda Samvada, the section about Kanta Bhava, or Madhurya Bhav, Madhurya Prem, Madhurya Ras. So Kanta Bhav includes all of the services performed by the associates of Krishna, who act as his servants, friends, and parents. Means Madhurya Ras includes all the other four rasas. The Krishna Nishtha, or resolute steadfastness in Krishna, of Shanta, the service mentality of Dasya, the intimate service of Sakya, the pervasive desire in Vatsalya for Krishna's auspiciousness and for his maintenance, and the well-being of he who is subordinated by Prema. All of these qualities are included in Madhurya Ras. Furthermore, there is one more quality, offering one's entire body in the service of Shri Krishna, which is exclusively available in Madhurya Ras. The love-struck Braja Gopis, who are the heroines of this Kanta Bhav, have distanced themselves from material desires and even their own family members, having completely renounced body, home, and dear friends, as if insignificant dry grass. So it's interesting to notice that the relationship, what binds the relationship in Vrindavan is that very, united community of cowherd, people, right? And that structure of the society is very important for the stability of the mind. Mm. And also the sentiments, you know. So for instance, the ideal model of the society in the Vedic culture is monarchist. You have the king, you have the queen, you have the subjects, and then you have the whole kingdom under one reference, under one um, one shelter, which is the king and the queen. Why I'm speaking about that? Because it's very important to start and this basic understanding how society is being structured according to Vedic culture. It is based on the monarchy. So I'm just giving many steps backwards to go where I want to go. Because as Srila Gurudev used to say, that don't go directly to the sweet. First offer other items. Bitter start first, then salty, sour, then you go to sweet. So then this is very important to understand what gopis are renouncing and what is the importance of such structure in the society, and how it should be actually respected by everyone and it should be followed by everyone. Like family, tradition, respect to queen and king, respect to dharma, to injunctions of the scriptures. Everything is necessary to be followed and respected for the well development of society in all respects, even spiritual. So, but the gopis, they will actually, due to their due to their highest stage of love of God, they will be able to give up all these things. And then they will just put Krishna in the center of their lives and of their motives. So you can see that Nanda Baba himself is the queen. Jashoda herself is Nanda Baba is the king, Jashoda is the queen. You can see that they're not renouncing their posts. They're keeping it for the welfare of the Brajabasis. And the cowherd boys and the other Gopas and Gopis, elders, they have their role in society and they keep that. They keep all the etiquette very nicely. And all the servants of Krishna and all the servants of Nanda Baba and of all the kingdom, they keep their social roles, the social status, they keep everything. Why is that? Because it is necessary for making harmony, for making the whole organism of that social organism, functioning properly in all respects. And we can see some subtle aspects of the monarchist principle. Usually the base, the foundation of society is a family, right? So if the family is in the power, and if the family is in the centralized administrative power of society, then it is much more comforting or comfortable for the people to function properly, because you have a very stable situation. It is one family which is going to give their legacy to their what to say, to their children, and they are going to become princess and prince, and then they also become queens and kings, like that. And it's very easy to understand how this process is going on. And if, for instance, somebody becomes orphan, has no mother or no father, or both either, the figure of the queen and the king, they will replace, the presence of mother and father in the life of that subject. So that gives a much more stable type of psychological condition for all the people. There are many subtleties in this process of the monarchy, and that's not much publicized, that's not much explained, and there are no many sources of knowledge about this, but this is very important and significant. And we can pick up here and there some very special points about why Vedic culture has chosen this monarchist social structure, for administration. Because presidency and parliamentarism, this is very much unstable, and it gives, room for so much corruption, so much unsteadiness. In all political scene, there is always a type of anxiety in the heart of the people, because every 4 years things are changing, and again there is a big mass around, and again there is many groups fighting for that power, and that creates a big havoc in society. But this is one type of subject of my study, and investigation. You can see that I will give you one example. When the Acharya is present there in the mission, you can see that everything orbits around that Acharya, and everything goes smooth, and everyone's mind is settled and organized, and the energy is established there in such a way that everything flows very nice, and you feel good, and you can expect many things. You can prepare yourself, you can plan many things, you can dream about many things, in the sense of making plans for future. You know who to approach, you know how things are going to work. You are also linked to that way of ruling of that Acharya. So the whole atmosphere, the whole spiritual atmosphere, I can say, of that society is like a very flat and deep ocean, very stable, without any type of, waverings, no disturbances. Everything is there, is smooth, very nice. But as soon as that Acharya leaves that post and does not put any successor on his place, and instead he leaves it, by many reasons, I'm not judging that, he leaves in the hands of a committee, or he just leaves it open for whomsoever could come, and take that post. What will happen if you establish a presidentship for administrating those properties and those disciples of that guru? What do you cause? You cause instability in the society. Automatically it comes. Why I'm saying that? Because some of you here have experience of that, because you have stayed during Gurudev's time, and now you are staying a different time, how the society is being organized. And just to make sure I'm not criticizing anything, I'm not saying this is good or bad. I'm just saying it's different. So just to make sure. It's different, and it's what it has to be, there is no, other way. Gurudev, he did his best, and things are there. But just to compare, so that you can understand that if you have the queen and the king there, you have that very stable process. But if that is being replaced by a election process, that will create a complete disturbance forever, because there will be never stability, never. And people's mind also becomes completely destroyed. So, you know, since the Vedic time, we have the monarchy process, because it creates stability in society. Everyone's mind and emotions, everything is settled. But for some reason, some atheistic people or some materialistic people, they want to destroy that. Why? Because they know that by destroying this monarchist system, you also destroy the people's stability, steadiness of emotions, of intelligence, and many things. So you can see that there are many examples in history. And the most prosperous nations, the most stable nations in the world, they are monarchists still. They're having still monarchy, like Denmark, like Sweden. Then third is Great Britain, then Australia, New Zealand, Canada, like that. People are much more, what to say, in harmony and expecting things. That there is much less, what to say, havoc in the society. Perhaps you have never thought about it, and you may feel little strange, but just keep that for future considerations. Okay, and there are many subtle things there. For example, when Japan lost the Second World War, and Americans, they wanted to impose the control over there. They wanted to remove the king, but then it was advised to say, no, keep the king, otherwise the country will be completely devastated, because that is the spine, of the stability of the society. And then they kept the king. And then Japan nowadays is one of the greatest potencies, in the world, greatest country in the world. I'm not saying that there is no problems in this country. I'm not saying that. Okay, don't take to that side. I'm just analyzing one aspect. So all these things are very, very important. I'm just making some parentheses here, because sometimes devotees, they may think that they are somehow socialists, anarchists, communists, or liberals, or anything like that. For them, their ideal of society is very, very different. But we have to see that what Vedas is, giving us as a model of society. And if we are not educated on the values of that, then we should be. We should not fight against, say, oh, why you are promoting monarchy, all these things, these corrupted kings and queens. No, I'm not promoting corrupted queens and kings. I'm promoting this system, and the system is a Vedic system. If corrupted people, they will be there, they can also be discharged, they can also be impeached, they can also be removed. There is no problem about that. Many kings in history, they were also removed. They have no absolute power. This is not true also. They can be removed. So anyway, all these, so the idea I want to give you is that all the values that structure society in all aspects, economical, spiritual, emotional, psychological, artistical, and all aspects of society. Very important to create harmony and maintain people's, like integrity and people's, what to say, sanity, minds, control and everything. The gopis, they were able to give up. Although all these things are important, they are still in a material level. And if you have something better to replace that, that can only be Krishna. Because the topmost of the material type of society that Vedas already have described, this is Varnashram Dharma, this is the monarchist principle, and this is so many other things. Like free market, like capitalism. This is the Vedic system. But there is nothing better than that. That may not be perfect, but there is nothing better than that. So that's the main point. But if you can replace that for Krishna, if Krishna can be your state, if Krishna can be your queen, your king, if Krishna can be your husband, your father, your son, your everything, your society, your life and soul, your God, then it's possible to replace. Otherwise not. Therefore, here Gurudev is saying, the gopis, they are doing something which others rasas cannot do. They can offer their entire body, entire being, entire soul, everything to Krishna. Means they have replaced the center of their lives to Krishna or for Krishna. For example, Nanda Baba, he may think that Krishna is everything for him, but he's not giving up the post of king. He's not giving up his duties. He's not giving up the shame or the shyness of etiquette, social etiquette. In Mathura, he's waiting outside for Krishna to come. He's shy to go there. Although he's already there, but he's shy to go. He's waiting outside. And many things which he has to still look at. But the gopis, no. The gopis, they threw themselves in front of the chariot of Akru. Everyone is looking, but still they are throwing themselves on the ground, holding the wheels, showing that their life is going. Their life and soul is going there. And they cannot live without him. They have given up all shyness, all injunctions of the Vedas. There is one verse which says, how is that? Gopi bhava mritta jara lobh hoy, lok dharma veda tyaji Shri Krishna bhajai. If you want to obtain this Gopi bhav, the nectar of Gopi bhav, you have to give up all the injunctions of Shastra. You have to give up all dharmic rules. You have to give up all the people around you in the material world. Everything which was established by Krishna himself to give stability in society and to pave the way for spiritual and material development in the best way. The gopis, they can give it up. Why is that? Because they have something better to replace. And the only thing they can replace for that is Krishna. So if you're able to do that, if you're able to replace everything for Krishna, then you can give up. But if you try to give up everything but not replacing for Krishna, then your life are going to become chaotic. So therefore, we should be very careful. Don't give a step bigger than your leg. I don't know if in English you have this type of saying. In Portuguese, we have a very common one. Don't give a step bigger than your leg. Bigger than your leg can do. So it's like that. So let us continue here. So the gopis, they have that, just read this last sentence. The love-struck Braja gopis, who are the heroines of this Kanthabhav, have distanced themselves from material desires and even their own family members. Having completely renounced body, home, and dear friends, as if insignificant dry grass. So we learn that we have to give respect to family, respect to parents, respect to husband and wife, respect to everyone. We have to serve them. But now gopis are doing the opposite. Why? Because Krishna said, Sarva dharmam parityaja. Give up all dharmas. Only the ones who were able to do it were gopis. So now Gurudev is quoting a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:82-44. Mai bhaktir hi bhutanam amrittatvaya kalpate dishtaya dasning mat sneho bhavatinam mad apmanha. O gopis of Braja, devotional service to me bestows immortality upon all living entities. But it is a matter of great fortune and joy that you nurture intense affection for me, as this is the means to attain me. So Krishna himself is saying to the gopis that devotional service to me gives immortality. And if you have that, shows that you have affection for me, and this is the way to attain me. A discussion of Gopi's pain of separation is found in the account of the meeting at Kurukshetra. Shri Krishna glorifies them, declaring them to be supremely fortunate, since this Kanta Prema is the only means by which he can be completely controlled. The Prema of the other rasas is not able to do this. Krishnera pratigya drida sarva kalyache je yache bhaje Krishna tare bhaje taiche. Shri Krishna has taken a solemn oath that for all eternity he will reciprocate accordingly with the manner in which one serves him. This was spoken by him in Bhagavad Gita. Jejatamam prapadyante tam stateva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manusha partha savarsaha. O Partha, in whichever way a person renders service to me, I serve him in that very same way. Everyone follows my path in all respects. The worshipful Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said in his commentary on this verse that whatever a person desires as the fruit of their worship of the Lord, Bhagavan in return awards the result accordingly. The sadhaka of Shuddha Bhakti worships Bhagavan only to achieve eternal service to the transcendental form of the Lord. And the Lord rewards his loving devotee according to his desire by making him his eternal associate and giving him eternal love-filled service to Bhagavan. Bhagavan fulfills the desires of the impersonalists by bestowing upon them liberation or nirvishesha nirvana, whereupon they enter into the impersonal effulgence of the Lord. As the supreme controller, the Lord bestows the material fruits desired by the reward-seeking workers, karmis, and in the same manner, he bestows opulences or liberation upon the yogis. Of all these various attainments, service to Sri Brajendra Nandana Shri Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan is the best. So Krishna is the one who is giving all the fruits of all types of spiritual processes. Even if the benefits that the demigods they can give, Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita, I am giving that through them. So the supreme giver of benefits, this is only Krishna himself. Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita, everyone worships me in all paths, according to all these processes. They are actually worshiping me, but they don't know that. Thus, we should understand from the commentary of this Bhagavad Gita verse that the fruit of each individual's worship is not identical. Depending on the type of bhajan one performs, the fruit received is indeed in accordance with one's desire. Some learned persons have interpreted the phrase Manusya Partha Sarvasaha in this verse to mean that no matter what form one's worship takes, since all are on the path of worshipping Bhagavan, the Lord will give them the same result to all. This conception is completely erroneous. Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures have thoroughly refuted the foolish theory that the deluded materialists, the speculators, and the pure devotees will ultimately all arrive at the same destination. Further on, Srimad Bhagavad Gita 9.25 states, Yanti deva vrata devam pritriyanti pritrivrata, bhutan yanti bhuteja, yanti mad yajino pimam. Those who worship the demigods will go to the demigods. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. Those who worship ancestors go to the ancestors, and those who worship me will come to me. In this above mentioned verse, Bhagavan says, with whatever mood one surrenders to me, I reciprocate in a like manner. Factually, it is me alone whom everyone is worshipping. Truly, I am the topmost and only valid goal of all conceptions. The pure devotees receive the ultimate bliss of eternal service to my transcendental person in the supreme abode. The impersonalists destroy their very selves through the attainment of nirvana mukti, liberation characterized by the cessation of material existence in the impersonal Brahma effulgence. For the Shunyavadis or voidists, I manifest myself as emptiness and nullify their very existence as well. For the gross materialists attached to matter, I cover their soul and make their consciousness like dull matter. And they attain me in the form of matter. In the yogis' case, I manifest myself as a supreme Lord and offer them all types of opulences in the form of various yogic perfections and liberation. According to the various types of faith, I sometimes give them birth in a perishable body. In this way, I manifest myself as everything, and it is only I who am attained by all these different practitioners. However, one should understand that out of all of these attainments, service to me is supreme. Certainly, the many paths followed by humanity all lead exclusively to me. So if you paid attention, carefully, you feel that it looks like a contradiction, right? Because at the same time, Krishna is saying that they all go to different destinations, and it is wrong to say that all go to the same place and all get the same result, right? The very beginning of the purport, Srila Gurudev was saying that. I'm just coming back to clarify that for you. So Gurudev was saying this is foolishness to think that they all will go, to the same place. Gurudev is saying is the foolish theory that all will ultimately all arrive at the same destination. But by the end of the purport, Krishna is saying certainly the many paths followed by humanity all lead exclusively to me. So how can we reconcile this? Looks like it's something. The thing is that here, by the end, Krishna is saying that all lead exclusively to me at the end of their journey. It means that they can seek for the results of yoga, of karma, of jnana. Even he's talking about Buddhism also, like the Buddhists. But that is temporary. That is not eternal. So although all these varieties of results are different, they are not the ultimate result. The only ultimate result is Krishna himself, and that's only achieved by bhakti. But nevertheless, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that gradually, by and by, they will get perfection in every yoga until they come to bhakti yoga. So somehow or other, they will one day realize that following karma is not good. Then they go, higher and higher. In same way with jnana, same way with yoga, and so many other processes. All the different yogas Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna puts a hierarchy on them. And Krishna says on the top, this is bhakti yoga. And bhakti yoga will lead to the ultimate destination. Other destinations are temporary. But bhakti is the ultimate destination, and that is eternal. So no matter if you are in Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, or Madhurya, in whichever rasa you may come, that is eternal, because this is in bhakti yoga. But the other processes, mystic power, liberation, achieving Brahma, getting the fruits of material opulences, and etc., they are given by Krishna as those practitioners. They think this is the topmost, but this is not the topmost. They think this is everything, and Krishna gives them that, but that is a type of illusion, because that is not the topmost. The topmost is bhakti. So next verse. E primera anurupa na paribhajite ataeva rinihoy kahe bhagavate. If according to my vow, I cannot fully reciprocate with someone who does bhajan of me, then I become indebted to him. This is stated by Shri Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's the case of the gopis, right? Krishna, he cannot reciprocate with them. Therefore, he becomes indebted. Krishna cannot repay. Repay means reciprocate. Reciprocate means give accordingly. Je jatha mam prapadante. So according to that, I will give. But what gopis are demanding from Krishna actually, and also giving him, he cannot give back in the same level, in the same amount. Therefore, he cannot reciprocate, and then I become indebted to them, Krishna says. So Krishna is indebted to the gopis. Reciprocating with someone's bhajan means that when a devotee performs devotional service with a particular motive, then Shri Krishna fulfills that desire. This is known as Shri Krishna reciprocating with his devotees' bhajan. Another type of befitting reciprocation is where, in whatever bhava one wishes to please Shri Krishna, he makes every effort to satisfy that devotee. However, Shri Krishna cannot reciprocate with both types of devotee. And considering that the perfected gopis do not have even the slightest scent of desire for their own enjoyment, what is the question of Shri Krishna reciprocating by bestowing great happiness upon them? They only wish to give happiness and pleasure to Shri Krishna. If Shri Krishna wishes to fulfill their desires, then he alone receives happiness by doing that. The gopis of Braj have completely abandoned everything to offer their whole selves to Shri Krishna. However, Shri Krishna can never abandon any number of gopis for a single gopi. What to speak of many gopis? He cannot even abandon one of his ordinary devotees. Thus, he cannot reciprocate with the service of the gopis. Shri Krishna himself has accepted this fact in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:32-22. Napareham niravaja samyujam saswadu kritam vibhudasya piva ya mabajam durjarageha shinkalha samvrichhatadva parityatu sadhuna. My darling gopis, your meeting me is innocent and immaculate in every respect because it is devoid of even a single iota of desire for your own happiness. It is overflowing with supremely pure love. Although the bonds of affection for the members of one's own home are impossible to overcome, you have completely demolished them. Thus, for loving service to me, you have transgressed the moral laws of this world. Even if I lived as long as the gods, I would be unable to requite, even one drop of your love, sacrifice, and service. All of you may free me from that simply by your own gentle nature. But I am forever the debtor of your prema, and I will always continue to be. There is an interesting thing here, that why actually Krishna, he cannot replace the gopis' love or reciprocate with the gopis' love. The thing is that Krishna feels the gopis are so great, and his admiration for them is so great that he thinks that if I equal myself to them, I'm going to put them in some not in a special place. So it's better if I keep myself unable to reciprocate. So they will always remain in the best position, the topmost position. Actually, Krishna don't want to remove that status from gopis, gopis' love. Therefore, he's happy with that. He's happy with that because that gives the topmost place for the gopis. The quality that makes this Kanta Prema the most excellent is that only in this rasa has Shri Krishna allowed himself to fall into that. So he's saying, Gurudev is saying, allowed himself to fall into that. This Prema Madhurya of the gopis is the axle, and Shri Krishna is the wheel upon that axle, resting and rotating upon that central object. If one removes the axle or the gopis from the wheel, Shri Krishna then he becomes nirvishesh or featureless, impersonal, in the sense that he can do nothing. The sentiments of the gopis are the cause of the increase in Shri Krishna's beauty. But this is another type of aspect Gurudev quoted here, which says that the sentiments of the gopis are the cause of increasing Krishna's beauty. There's a very nice discussion between gopis and Krishna, especially Radhika and Krishna, described in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Kaviraj Goswami, which is the beautiful, beautiful dialogue. And perhaps one day we can read that. It's from Adi Lila chapter 4. And then there he's saying more or less like that the beauty of Krishna and the beauty of Radha, they are always like in a type of battle. And in that battle never finds anyone never finds defeat, and both are victorious. Because one is increasing each other's beauty, and one is increasing automatically each other's bliss. And they are what? They are all victorious. No one can defeat each other that way. The more Krishna sees the beauty of Radha, the more he becomes happy. The more happy he becomes, the more beautiful he is. And the more beautiful he is, more happy Srimati Radhika is by drinking that beauty. And the more happy she is, the more beautiful she is. And then it goes like in a spiral, endlessly. That is the battle of love of Radha and Krishna. I highly suggest, you to read, that chapter, and you find a very beautiful, amazing. Once I have collected all the verses of this chapter, and I have edited and created like a poetry, with only the sequences of the most special verses there. But I made that in Portuguese, so I don't have that actually in English to share with you. So, but you can read it by yourself. It's great and very, very delightful and nectarian and sweet. How much that is. I very often I read that. It's very, very nice. So let me see here how much to the end of the chapter. There's still so much to end of this chapter. So we're gonna stop here and then continue next time. Okay? Hare Krishna.